Hi, Brian. I was going to ask you how you thought Michael Dieter played in his three starts at center before the injury, and is he ready to resume his role as your starting center against the Giants?
I thought he played well early in the season. I mean, it was a while back now. Um, but yeah, it was unfortunate that he got injured, but he's worked his way back. Obviously, he practiced last week, as you know, Barry, and we'll just kind of got to see how I thought he did some good things last week in practice. Obviously, wasn't ready for us to call him up, but we'll just see how we'll take this one day at a time and see how he practices this week. But he's working his butt off to get back out there, and he'll try to get out there as soon as he can.
Great. And one other quick thing from me, just Fuller and Devontae, do you expect either to be able to practice fully this week?
Again, with both those guys, it's no different than where we were at this time last week. I think, we'll see on Wednesday. Both, obviously, getting better, getting closer. We've got workouts today and tomorrow, which will tell us a little bit more. We're kind of we're there yet, and we'll make the best decision for each one of those guys individually in our team.
Thanks.
David Fronis.
Hey, Flo. This rookie class has really come along, and yesterday was a great example with Jalen, and Javon all making plays. Is there a common thread in something about them, their work ethic, anything like that, or anything you can say about what's led to this?
And I think all the guys, in the rookie class, and I would say all the guys on our team, they work hard. Football is important to them. They're team first. Those guys they're tough. They're competitive. They enjoy playing with one another. They support each other. They work at it every day. They study film, and they've gotten better. And I'm confident that they'll continue to get better because they'll continue to put the work in, and they're all sponges. They want to get better. They want to learn. They want to improve. They want to help our team.
Tim Reynolds.
Brian, along the rookie lines, they've had a mini camp, they've had training camp, they've had 12 games, meetings, film, all that stuff. Is there a point where rookies aren't really rookies anymore? I mean, is there a point where you're a rookie for your whole first year? I get that, but is there a point where you kind of shed the tag inside the building?
No, they're rookies. They're rookies. They still got a long way to go, a lot to learn. I think you learn. This is kind of the point in the season where it gets really different for them. College seasons are really over right now. So it's 12 games. I think we can all kind of reasonably understand that. There's 12 games in college. Now we're 12 games, and we got a lot of season left here. So this is where it becomes, the season's longer. There's more hit. It's a more physical game. It's more taxing in a lot of ways, mentally, physically, emotionally. So yeah, they're certainly still rookies now. And this is, while they've played football, I would say this long. In college, I think next week is the college championships or the conference championships, I would say. This is kind of where the length of the NFL season differs from anything that they've dealt with. So yeah, they're certainly still rookies.
Brian, along those lines, though, it is, if you stack the two side by side, yeah, their seasons would be done if they were in school. I mean, the numbers are one thing, but they look like they just played their best games too. Like, how are they finding ways to get the most? I mean, they've never gone through a season this hard, this long. What's it say about them that they're able to put up their best numbers at this time of year?
We try to take things one game at a time. It says that they're working hard. It says that they're taking advantage of their opportunities. But, you know, specific to your question about them being rookies, I would say they still are because they've never experienced, you know, this next part of the season.
Omar,
Good morning, Flo. Well, good day. Earlier today, Jalen Phillip said something that I found kind of interesting, profound. I want to know if you can help me with the origin of. He said, "We say cut your own grass. Don't worry about your neighbor's yard." Obviously, that means, you know, do your job, do your assignment. I'm assuming that's what it means. If you can elaborate, is that a you saying? Is that a Josh saying? Is that, and where did you guys get it from?
You found that to be profound?
Yeah, I did. Sometimes I cut my neighbor's yard.
Do you?
I do, actually. I like mowing lawns.
You're a nice guy. You're a nice guy. I got some grass if you want to.
I don't have the setup to move my equipment. So where does it?
I think it means just, you know, handle your responsibility, your assignment, your communication. Basically do your job. And don't worry about what the other guy's doing, because the other guy's going to do his. And if we get enough guys doing, handling their business, handling their responsibility, you know, and everyone trusts that everyone, you know, the guy next to him is going to do what he's supposed to do, then that'll make it as hard as possible for our opponent. And even then, sometimes everyone does do their job and the opponent makes a play. But you know, we don't want to give them anything because, you know, we didn't take care of I didn't take care of my individual business.
Now, you guys were adamant about doing that defensively earlier in the season. I guess it wasn't happening. People weren't just doing their job. At what point do you think that message sort of hit home this season? Because I know it wasn't an issue too much last season, but when did it hit home with this team?
I mean, I think it's always something we put an emphasis on. Look, each game is different. So, I mean, I think it's something our guys are always trying to do. They're always trying to handle their responsibility, do their whatever's asked of them on a specific assignment. Just doing it more consistently now. You know, when it hit home, I can't say the time. I'm kind of just focused on right now and where we're at and trying to play good solid football across the ball, offensively, defensively in the kick.
Ryan Dunleavy, New York Post.
Hey, Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Ryan.
Hey, thanks for taking my question. I was wondering if you could take me back, Brian, to it seems kind of unusual. Yeah, I know you guys are all friends, but it seems kind of unusual for a head coach to let his coordinator under contract interview with another team. So I was wondering if you could take me back to why you let Patrick Graham do that, and what you see from him now that he's running the Giants defense.
Yeah, I mean, look, Pat and I are good friends. I would say, you know, we share an office together. We've had our spats. Our wives are best friends. Our kids hang out. So, you know, Pat's a great friend of mine. You know, from a football coaching standpoint, you know, we're more brothers than anything. So I have a lot of respect for him. And you know, I would never stand in the way of somebody doing something they wanted to do. And, you know, that was something Pat wanted to do. And I have a lot of respect for him and his family. And that's something that and I support him. I support him in that situation. And I'm always going to support him. So, but you know, Pat and I are that's my man, 50 grand, as many would say. So a lot of respect for him and Joe and Jerry.
Travis.
Hey, Coach, good afternoon. I wanted to ask you about Phillip Lindsay, obviously arriving Wednesday, and he's heavily involved in the run game, pass game, had some great moments in pass pro as well. What does it say about your offensive staff to be able to turn him around and get him ready for a game just 3 days after he got here to have that big of a workload?
I think, you know, Eric did a great job, you know, getting him ready. We had a small package for him. let's call it 8 to 10 plays. Phillip was on top of it. We probably could have given him, another 8 to 10 plays, and he would have got it all down. We spent a lot of time going through it. They walked through, they met, they walked through some more, they met some more. They worked ball handling with the quarterbacks. They went through the protections. They walked through it. They went through it some more. So he was. They spent a lot of time on it, and it's just a credit to Phillip and his commitment to getting it right, and Eric getting him coached up and ready to go, and then putting him in the game. And I thought he did some good things, and hopefully we can build on last week.
Thanks, Coach.
Dan from The Athletic. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name.
Duggan, yeah, it's all good. Hey, Brian, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about your relationship with Joe Judge and, any memories that stand out from your time together in New England.
Joe's another good friend. Spent time in New England, obviously, as you all know. Again, our wives are friends. My son and his daughter were in the same pre-K class. So, I mean, this is, we're talking about people I have, great relationships with. But on Sunday, we're going to compete. I think that's what I expect from them. That's what I know we're going to get from them. That's what they know they're going to get from us. A lot of great memories. I'm not going to, kind of divulge those right now, but definitely someone I have a lot of respect for.
Maybe, obviously maybe not this week, but outside of this week, you guys are both, first-time head coaches, similar points of your career. Do you guys compare notes and stay in touch a lot?
Yeah, we stay in touch. But I think, those conversations are about, our wives, our families. Occasionally there's, obviously always something, football related that we can get into, a situation or something like that. But yeah, most of the time it's not really with football at the forefront. I think I would say, we're friends first. So same thing with Pat, same thing with Jerry.
Thanks.
Daniel?
Good afternoon, Brian. I wanted to ask, yesterday's win was your 10th win as a coach in the month of November. I know back when you were in New England, I mean, those teams had a lot of success in the second half of the season. I mean, as a coach, I mean, how do you get your players ready for that stretch run? And obviously with you guys starting the way you did, I mean, how are you as a coach able to kind of turn the tide and get them to play their best when it really counts later in the season?
I just try to take it one day at a time and, try to improve and get better. I know that you guys probably get tired of hearing that, but I think the only way to get that improvement is to talk about it every day. And I think if we, just continue to come in and prepare the right way and work the right way in meetings and walk through and practice, and you will make those improvements, and over time, I think, hopefully you play better. But there's a lot that goes into it, whether it's, playing discipline or, being able to, change game plans or shift the game plan. There's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of kind of things you got to, from a foundational standpoint, that you have to have in place in order to make certain adjustments kind of later in the season that you need to make. And every team deals with that. But, in order to make those, you just got to, on a day-to-day basis, try to get better.
Thank you. And a quick follow-up, in talking to Javon and talking to Jalen, I mean, they really stress how much of a team bond that there is. As a coach, I mean, do you see that maybe whether it's on the practice field or in meeting rooms? And how do you think that maybe translates to the field and how you guys have been able to turn things around?
I mean, I think that's important. I'm happy to hear those guys say that. Something that, I think it's important to me. I think that's, that camaraderie, those bonds. I mean, that means something. in game, that you trust the guys that are next to you. And I think that's something you can definitely certainly build on. And it's nice to hear them say that. I think it's something we try to, that's the kind of culture we want to have here. And I think I hope when people watch us, they see a group that supports each other, that enjoys playing together. Just got to keep preparing and try to keep preparing and give ourselves an opportunity to play well.
All right, last question, Hal.
Brian, I was going to ask you something that was touched on a couple of questions ago regarding Lindsay. I'm wondering if there's anything more you can tell us about where you plan to go from here with Phillip. What will be the focus for him this week as he incorporates himself into the offense? And can you see a point where this becomes an open competition?
How we'll just kind of take it day to day. I think there's so much for him to learn from a playbook standpoint, from a just getting to know his teammates standpoint. I mean, this is I think, but he'll certainly have an opportunity. I think what he shows us in practice, what he shows us in walkthroughs, what he shows us in meetings. If we feel like he can help us, we'll try to put him in positions to do that. I think both Miles and Savon and Patrick have helped us as well. So, we'll just add them to the mix and try to put him and really all of our players in the best positions to play well.